Virtual Advisory Clinic, VAC, for MEPN. Are you facing difficulties in operating your business due to the impact of COVID-19 pandemic? Are you worried about the future of your company? And you are not sure where to refer for advice? Well, the Machinery and Equipment Productivity Nexus, MEPN, is ready to facilitate you in providing guidance. MEPN was set up to improve the productivity of firms, sector, and the country. The solutions came from industry and the private and public partnership of MEPN. We invite you to join the MPC Virtual Advisory Clinic for Machine Equipment. Experienced industry advisors will be there to guide you. Contact us, and we will see you virtually using online meeting for 1 hour. And together, we will work with you to find solutions to your challenges. Do contact MPC Advisory Clinic for Machinery and Equipment, MEPN, at mpc.gov.my.
Yeah, okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, let me welcome everyone to today Malaysia Productivity Corporation MPC, Machinery and Equipment Productivity Nexus MEPN webinar section. So today topic we would like to have a sharing about digitize your manufacturing operation and gain a competitive edge. So as we know that digitalization in the business is all about converting data or material into the digital form and using the digital method to various the operation and tasks for businessmen as to be transforming to the digital from some time now because it helps them to streamline their management and enhancing their day-to-day operation, but many companies still struggling to keep up with their latest digital trends. So to gain a competitive advantage, manufacturing must to be agile enough to respond to the market demands and all levels of the production without increasing costing and wastage. Adoption of new technology can be the difference between success and failures. I think a moment ago, last 2 to 3 years, I think a lot of people is asking digital transformation, industry 4.0. This is not only is talking, now it's happening. So today, glad to invite our so-called more experienced speaker, Dr. Tan Chee Fai. So let Dr. Tan to share their overall ideas and all experience on the how to guide you, how to start on the digitize on your manufacturing operations. So Dr. Tan, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, the moderator, Mr. Vincent Oh, who is the director of the NexAIoT Limited from Taiwan. He's based in Malaysia. Thanks a lot. First of all, I would like to thank you invitation by the Machinery and Equipment Productivity Nexus. Nexus, one of the important nexus under the Malaysia Productivity Corporation, to invite me again to share with you all something information that related to the digital transformation, or so-called in short form DX. Okay, D and cross X. This is the point for today. Okay, let me share my slide. Okay, if you cannot hear my voice or cannot see my slide, do inform me. Okay, thank you. And after this sharing, right, maybe you all can put your question in the chat box for me to answer your question. I'm humble to learn from you all as well, because this digital transformation, as what Vincent said, is a very important journey for Malaysia industry towards so-called competitors advantages, not only in this region as well as worldwide. Okay, so today my topic is digitize your manufacturing operation and gain a competitive edge. So you can see my title, right? Digitize itself, I put multicolor. It's because for the digitization or digitalization and towards the digital transformation is a journey. Okay, you need a lot of factors, something to gel together, okay, to orchestra. So this is a term, to orchestra all together, okay, for the future sustainability of a company, and for a company to become competitive, not only locally as well as internationally. So my name is Chee Fai. I'm a director of the Robolab Technology Sdn Bhd. So let me introduce a bit about myself. So I'm Chee Fai. I'm a certified digital transformation professional, same as Mr. Vincent Oh, the moderator, as well as a digital transformation advisor or mentor with the Malaysia Productivity Corporation. I was also the permanent member under the Department of Standard Malaysia for TCS 15, the Smart Manufacturing Group. Okay, is this group just formed in this year. Okay, and we are we are doing something to promote the standardization. Anything that related to smart manufacturing in Malaysia. I'm also the technical expert that recommended by Department of Standard Malaysia to the ISO IEC Smart Manufacturing Standard Task Force. It's one of the very important international standardization task force that look into the smart manufacturing, as well as I'm consultant under the ASEAN Engineering Inspector for Manufacturing, former consultant for UNESCO. I have about 21 years of experience that related to advanced manufacturing, artificial intelligence, automation, and robotics. So my experience mainly in the consultation services, project management, and R&D. Okay, these are some of my humble background. So again, for this topic, right, for today's webinar topic, the key to take away is first one. You will know about the digital transformation insights in manufacturing currently and future, right? And then you know about what's the impact of the digital transformation that on your business. Lastly is how the digital transformation able to improve the manufacturing responsiveness, quality, and efficiency, right? So again, if you follow my last webinar, again, I will still want to emphasize this worth of time, but never mind. Even though there's worth of time, we must think positively how to facing this kind of crisis, right? So-called the COVID-19 pandemic is a worldwide crisis, as well as a big impact for our business, our cash flow. Even now, many of the industry in Malaysia also facing not only the pandemic itself, but also the issue of the price increase for the raw material, for some of the material component and etc. As well as we all facing the shortage of the worker as well. Okay, not only the pandemic, but of course the chain from the pandemic is causing this kind of thing. The destruction of the supply chain in the worldwide. I think started since last year, and then this year, I think now or day, right, this few months, I think you feel a lot. Wow, the price of the raw material increase a lot. Yeah, as well as the shortage of worker, you can hear that people are looking for the worker to work. Yeah, not because they don't have the order, the lack of the worker to work. Yeah, so in this Taiji, normally yin and yang, we look at the crisis that what we facing now. Sorry. Okay, what that we are facing now is a crisis now, but at the same time, we can look at this as an opportunity for us to do something a bit different from the traditional way, the conventional way. We need to think about how to move forward, how to think positive and move forward, and then of course to transform. Yeah, it's something for us to transform. Even as an individual like me, yeah, we need to do something to transform ourselves to be competitive, yeah, with others. Not only as I mentioned, right, not only you fight with the Malaysian, become the Raja Kampung, but of course you need to compete with the others from other regions as well. So we need to think of that. We are not limit ourselves in Malaysia, but we look at the outside world as well. As well as the adoption of the digital technology for the continuity of the businesses. Not because of the pandemic or crisis we cannot go out. We cannot go out because maybe we are afraid of the pandemic or something else, right? But we can use the digital technology, the internet technology, this kind of so-called very advanced communication technology, as well as in maybe next year we are hopefully the 5G 5G already announced in the IMK 12 as well, even in the budget recently, budget 2022 as well. It's something for us to move forward. Yeah, so we can think about how we going to make use of the 5G technology. Yeah, even now 5G not yet in place, but we can prepare for it. Yeah, we can use a whatever available nowadays. We looking forward, we prepare for the future. Yeah, as well as now we adopt the technology like what we have today, Zoom, to do what the webinar, to have a sharing session with you all, so you know about how to move forward. Maybe something can spark your idea, spark some idea from your side. It's what our purpose of the MPC, MEPN. That's why MEPN organize frequently this kind of a webinar to encourage, to give something to the industry, some idea. Even though the 1 hour's webinar is not sufficient for you to do a lot of things, but at least something that can spark your brain cell to innovate something in your businesses for the sustainability and gain more profit and then the cash flow as well. So this one is actually by Winston Churchill, say that never waste a good crisis. This is a very positive way to think about how we're going to move forward, especially for the Malaysian industry. Okay, this is why we need to gain something by digitalize our businesses, transform our businesses, business by adoption, to adopt some of the techniques, method, the tool, the software, the hardware into business to transform, to be competitive as well. So first of all, before I enter the what is the digital transformation, we need to understand what is the meaning of the digitization. Okay, actually, digitalization is a process of making information available and accessible in a digital format. I think it's a very straightforward. If you roughly my age, you know, or from the handwriting since when I'm young, and then after that during the secondary school, then the coming to the scene is a computer PC at that time. Okay, so from handwriting is a manual recording, right? Even some of the factory that I go to, right, they're still very conventional way to record the data. Okay, so and then of course for digitization is something we use a PC with the software that we can key in something data into the software and we can save it. It's so-called the digitization. That is another form for me to explain to you, for you to understand. Then what's the next level? It's so-called the digitalization, right? Digitalization, the second level. So digitalization is the act of making process more automated through the use of digital. Automated. What's the meaning of automated? Well, automated not only in the operation process, but also in the software. So I always emphasize that automation not only happen in the factory, manufacturing factory, but in the business as well. Okay, based on the software itself. So you save the data, because you save a lot of data, you key in the data into the Excel sheet, let's say Excel sheet, and some of the software, right? But just the data. But you still cannot understand, hey, this data for what? Okay, but you can do something is you make it something more automated. Maybe Excel sheet do some programming at the back end. Okay, you can generate the graph, the chart. But the chart is just a chart. But still you still cannot get, hey, this chart is showing what? What does it show? Right? This is a semi-auto because you still need a human like you and I to do something, to use a mouse to do something in the Excel sheet to generate the chart. Of course, you can say that, hey, now I can use a different kind of the software, right? I think in the accounting, you know what kind of software in accounting. So I say that I'm not going to mention the brand, but you know, this is a software. Of course, I key in something in that software. So the software can do something, can generate something, right? Generate the invoice, quotation, etc. Even they can do some calculation, that they can see something as well. So this one normally is called, you can see automated through the use of digital. So it's a very modern contemporary. The naming is called robotic process automation. When you're dealing with the IT company, they're talking about RPA. Even some of the company, right, it's a new term. It's a robotic process automation. It means that at the back end, the company will do some programming. So enable the data that capture, or you are the one who input the data into the software. At back end, you do some calculation. They do some automation at the back end, so that let's say you can no need to have a card anymore, and the invoice, the quotation, and etc. can be generated automatically, just by a click. Okay, by a click. Okay, you can view from anywhere. Okay, even same as IoT, the IoT, Internet of Things, or Industrial Internet of Things. Okay, you can capture the information from the shop floor, from the machinery, different various of the machinery at the shop floor, capture data via the sensors, again through the gateway, and gateway send the data. Before send data, of course, you will do some filtering first. After that, the print data, the certain result, right, will send to cloud, either external or internally, and then at the end you can see, hey, oh, this is my operation performance in the so-called near real time, right? Near real time. Okay, because there's some delay lah. If you are technical people, you know everything actually got delay. It depends how fast of the processor and transmission happen. Of course, it will not 0 second, at least some second near real time. Then from there, dashboard, yeah, just a dashboard. See, oh, this is my performance at the machine A, B, C, D until Z. Okay, but is it something I need to know more? What else? So Mr. Vincent always question me, hey, what next? After you get a gap, you capture the data, and you can see from dashboard, what next? What can we do with this data? So it's the next level, so-called digital transformation. Next level. Okay. So digital transformation is a process of devising new business application that integrate all the digitized data and the digitalized applications. Right. From there, hey, you capture a lot of data from different kind of hardware, the software, you capture a lot of data. If you are not the experienced people, so what? How? You will depend on the experienced people. If you are owner, of course you know a lot. Hey, I know my business very well. I know my operation very well. When the graph showing this, I know what happened. Actually, the data that you capture from the conventional way, is it genuine or not? Is it valid or not? I always say that you depend on human to capture the data, to record data. There is a possibility for the misinterpretation or ungenuine of the data that capture. Okay, that's why some company in the worldwide they start to adopting the technology, okay, like IoT and some of the software, right? Software, hardware to capture data, because the capturing of data normally by the technologies is more valid than human input. Okay, that's why I say that it depends on the company what you prefer. You prefer the data more genuine, more valid, you can adopt the technology. Of course, before you capture the data and interpret data, the data itself need to be valid. Of course, the technical people will make sure the data to capture is valid by commissioning the machines, whatever, to ensure that the data capture is valid as well. So from that, when you capture a lot of data, you understand something from the dashboard. Then what next is that, hey, from the data that I capture for the dashboard, I see how it look like based on the different kind of chart or graph, right? I think about, hey, maybe this one is something I never know about my strength in this area. Okay, this might based on the capture data from the company by itself. Something you can say, oh, maybe I can look into this strength to pitch for something else. Okay, or you capture the data from the market. I think that most of you, if you're doing business, the market insight information is very, very important for us, for you, for us to understand the market trend, how to move, how you divert your business focus, right? Of course, you need to have a very valid sources to capture the data for you to understand exactly what is a need, the actual need of the market, right? That's why through the digitization, the first level, and then the digitalization until the digital transformation, you understand, oh, this is the market. So we can see that, yeah, at the end of it, it's actually like the more data you capture, actually you know very well, hey, what's happening, become very transparent to you. When something becomes transparent to you, so it's easy for you as an owner, also as a management, you can do the very good planning. Yeah, you can strategize how to move your business towards the direction that you want to be very clear. Okay, that's why I put this slide, a lot of data left and right. At the end, it's a light at the end, so you can see very clear. Not to say blur, very blur and a very dark. So this is not the way. This is not the way. That's why we as a businessman, we know what we want is a data source. So data source is a new goal for we all. Yeah, without data, we never know what's happening. Become very clear, very, very negative. It's not the way. Okay. So this one is a slide I show you. It's a video from US. It's a very well-known chartered accountant. This one, what they predict for healthcare, you can see telehealth doctor visit replace the traditional annual physical by 2025 is because of the pandemic crisis. Yeah, because I afraid, I worry, I go to hospital or any medical center, I worry about that spreading of the infection, the pandemic. That's why telehealth is something for us to adopt as one of the services that provided by the hospital, healthcare center, etc. Okay, actually, healthcare, this kind of telehealth not new, because last time we were very convenient. Anything happened to us, not feeling well, we just go to clinic, go to the hospital to have to meet a doctor to get some medicine. But nowadays, yeah, we are worried. We are very worried. But then, of course, when you go through the telehealth system, you know, oh, actually, doctor diagnose me through something, right, through the wire internet. They know about my heartbeat, my temperature, etc. Then I can go to maybe I just order my medicine online. That's why the e-commerce platform. Yeah, some of the pharmacies also go through the e-commerce platform to sell the product, the healthcare product, or some of the non-restricted medicine. Restricted one, you still need to go through the pharmacists. But anyway, this is I think this is not an issue. There's a way to solve this problem as well under the KKM. So you can see for manufacturing, by PTO, I see that fully adoption of supply chain 4.0 by 2025. As you know, last year the pandemic happened worldwide, it causing the disruption of the supply chain, worldwide supply chain. If you follow some of the webinars since last year, people will say that, oh, you see the European country, US country, they are trying to think about rethinking of their supply chain. Okay, I think you know. So conventionally, they all depend on China as a main supply chain hub. Okay, but nowadays cannot, because there's worry again, another crisis come again, the port lockdown, the shipment cannot go out. This was causing their cannot do anything. Same as happening in our E&E industry in Malaysia. Not because they don't want to do, they do not get the raw material. Yeah, same as what happening last few months. The automotive market, automotive industry. Not because I cannot build, I can build my car, but the car cannot move. Why? It's because the controller depend on some companies that supply the chips. And without the chips, the car not able to operate. That's the thing. Even though the small pieces of chips will causing the entire automotive industry something wrong. Hiccup of the automotive industry. So for real estate, all new construction of multi-family homes beginning in 2021 will include co-working spaces. This one I think you know. I think most of the physical working space, due to pandemic, they're not able to go there to work. And then a lot of office space, I think in Grand Valley or any of the big country, city in the Malaysia, you can see the occupancy is not high, very, very low. It's due to the pandemic. And then people also now, maybe you and I, some of you maybe still WFH, the keyword, work from home. That is a new trend. Maybe not 100%, but some of the, I think if you attended the webinar yesterday or 2 days ago, I think yesterday, about the HR. HR for the industry, they're also looking at the alternative way, the new type of the way for the employee to have a flexible working environment, as well as work from home, right? Actually to cut off the spread of the pandemic. Therefore, what happened? For retail e-commerce sales account for more than a third of total retail spending by the end of 2020. Yeah, this one is a trend because now after pandemic, yes, we can go to shopping mall to buy something, but it's still worry. The numbers still there. It became a culture, a new trend. That's why if you my last webinar say that embrace the change, we move forward. Okay, for financial services, integration of tokenization technology to be better secure and track individual purchases and transaction by 2023. It means I know what I spend. I have even the bank. I recently I just noticed that Maybank give the consumer, the client like me, to understand where I spend the money, how much I spend money based on my bank account. Because I we use debit card, right, or credit card and etc. And going to show the chart to where we spend our money. Okay, it's something the new thing, right? Gartner is a very well-known consultant company worldwide. Okay, this Gartner's company, right? They always every year they will announce some of the technology that are used in the business world. Okay, business world. This is the new one, the top strategy technology trends for 2022 by Gartner. Actually, I want to focus on the center one, the orange color. You can see for manufacturing industry, this one may be deleted, but maybe not yet. So-called not yet, but it's a trend. It's a trend. Gartner already predicted this is a trend for the industry. The first one, AI engineering. More and more adoption of AI in the businesses. No matter you are engineering or non-engineering or etc. AI engineering is a trend. This one is called engineering. How AI able to embed it into the software, into the machine itself to further enhance the capability of the machines of the pieces, to avoid a lot of not necessary method, to improve of course, the efficiency, the productivity, and etc. Of course, what I say here, you know, but how objective of this able to assist? Actually, AI is mimic the human brain to do something more systematic and more structured, more convincing. Not because of human, we make the wrong mistake. This is sorry, but AI can prevent some of the matter to be happen. Even for hyper automation, it's a very new term. Automation. Now I add in hyper automation. Hyper automation not necessarily just for manufacturing. Actually, for all matter about business, it can be automated. Can be automated. This hyper automation actually also orchestra, harmonize a lot of different technology, hardware and software, actually to improve the process, to enhance the capability of the businesses, as well as decision intelligence. Decision intelligence is very important. The wrong decision, you know what will happen. Precise decision, you can hit what you want, the target you want, or hit the target. Of course, during the operation in the manufacturing processes, a lot of decisions need to be made, and a lot of things in the operation is very ad hoc. So I think most of us, if you are in the operation, every day, every hours, firefighting. When you're firefighting, you need the good decision to move forward, to solve the problem. That's why actually the people come up with the software. With this kind of certain level of intelligence at the back end to make a better decisions of something. As well as the last one is composable application. So this is the sculpting change of the industry. Of course, quite far away. You say, I not yet adopt the automation, IoT, AI, BDA, big data analytics, and etc. What is this? Well, at least today, I just share with you what is the next future technology will come into business. Then you see how to be how you to be competitive. I always mention that as a company, as a leader like you, what you want to be? You want to be a follower, or you want to be a leader in your business? So again, 3 fundamental questions for the digital transformation. You ask yourself, hey, why do we need to transform? Is it necessary? Ask yourself. Maybe if you attended my last webinar, maybe you have something in your mind already. Why? And what do we need to transform? What to transform? Hey, there's a lot of things. In and out, internal, external, so many things in a company. What to transform? And then how can we transform? A question mark. This is a question by most of the people. I hear a lot Industry 4.0 since 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, and today. How to move forward? It's a question by most of the industry company in Malaysia. So solid before the transformation will ask, hey, we have ERP, but mostly exchange data among systems through Excel, or some maybe not, so manually key in, right? And then we have 1 million customer, but don't know how to use customer data. Wow, 1 million. If I know you, I think about 29 of you, 28 of you online already. I know you very well. I know how to pitch my business to you. This is some of the example. But I don't know you. If I don't know, I cannot see your face in nowadays. If I understand who are you, easy for us to pitch pieces, right? This is how we use the data. But this 1 million data, how to use? Actually, that's why you can look at the e-commerce platform like Lazada, Shopee. Hey, do you know how much of data they have? So from there, they know how to pitch the right pieces to the user. Even the telco like Celcom, Celcom, Message, etc. They capture a lot of data every second, So we can see how to use the data. Very good. I know this person is where, this group people locations where, right? Even our e-commerce app is stuck 10,000 users at last 6 months. Minimal engagement, high churn, high customer acquisition cost. And then we are duplicating our efforts in recreating certain transactions in multiple systems, right? And then we are duplicating customer data in multiple systems. The duplication, we're causing the database become very, very heavy. Very heavy. We create a hiccup as well. We don't see customer service history between systems. It means the system itself got something wrong. That's why you need to engage the right people to do something. And then I selected this software because I use it in my previous organization. This one very common. If the process breaks, we have one smart guy who can fix it. It means that you only depend on that person. If that person not available, then you wait and see, right? Thank God we never had hacking, but to know what we will do it if it happens. It's what a common question, right? You go online, it means that you have the possibility to kernel hack. This is the thing. Not only they attack the multinational company MNC, right? And others as well. If you are anything go online, it's a possibility your system will kernel hack. These are the chances, right? So we need to prepare for it. So every negative you can see the following right below, right? Every negative customer interaction via a company app, website, telephone call, or service provider exposes your architectural inadequacies. Possible, right? That's why you need to have something, the continuous quality improvement process to improve. That's why you have to think about it. So the framework for digital transformation. So digital transformation need to look from the very holistic way approach from top, not the individual, not the single point, but more to holistic approach. And then you need to understand why, what, and how. This is what I mentioned before in the last webinar. I just recap again. So why you want to transform? You need to define your DX transformation vision very clear. Why you want to transform? Okay, why you want to transform? You ask yourself, not me, not Vincent. Okay, you have to ask yourself vision. You want to achieve based on the current business need, the future business need. Okay, what's the business need of your business, and what's your inspiration for you to transform? Okay, and then what's your pace? Of course, everybody know, technology now moving very fast. Even your handphone, every model handphone come up with always change the model from time to time very fast. Yeah, the processing power also need to be very, very fast and fast. Yeah, this is something we as a consumer we're looking at. So as a company, this matter you think business need, inspiration, and pace, and what to transform. So digitize your core business. So the core in your business normally is planning. That's why decision making, for you to see something become transparent. Okay, operation side, always you facing the data, not enough data, a lot of hiccup, how to say, cut queue. Okay, sometimes you planning like this, suddenly this customer need the thing very fast. Then this one take out and this one will cut queue. As well as commercial activities. What kind of commercial activities? Your customer, who are your customer? How to support them? As well as support functions. Digitize this core, as well as build a new digital offering from the what we have in the market. As you know, why a lot of new technology come into the market is because the technology itself become mature. It become mature already. As well as the cost itself, the pricing drop. That's why people, it's a time, not bad, we can adopt this one. So you can think about how to use the technology to really build a new digital offering for your customer. That's what happened in some of the, even the furniture factory, furniture company. They also adopt the online system to sell the product to the customer and get the feedback from the customer as well. So in here, you can use a technology, no matter software or hardware, and method to strengthen and as well disrupt the core that you currently have, as well as to create the new businesses based on the market trend. And then you look at your own strength and weaknesses, as well as how to transform. This is very general. First, of course, your foundation need to be there. You need to strengthen your foundation. Okay. No foundation, whatever you build on top of it, the possibility to collapse are there. So your foundation is your company structure and processes, okay, as well as the people, your staff, the people, and then your company data and system, and then your partner, your ecosystem partner, and then your client, your vendor, your supplier, and then the change management need to be strengthened as well, because the change for any of the change is not easy. It's not easy. You ask yourself, you ask your people, do you think they want to change? No. In the world, the survey for this change, 70% above people don't want to change. That's why to have a good culture of new digital culture is a challenge. I think you all can do it, right? And then for manufacturing, right? It's a manufacturing journey. I think if you're in a manufacturing, you know what's the main process in the manufacturing process. Okay. Actually, we look in the 3 main digital hotspots that normally you will look into it. First one, the inbound and outbound logistics. How to capture the information, like let's say to manage the distributed orders, optimize transportation and routing, and monitor supply chain performance. This is what I think most of you are looking at, right? How to really understand, to capture the information about this, so you can do a good planning. Secondly, your warehouse. So warehouse is about manage the distributed inventory, capacity and consumption, monitor inventory life cycle. Of course, you say, hey, this one look like the ERP, but as well as this also related to the MES, manufacturing execution system as well. And then lastly, the MES, manage MRO and WIP, inventories, manage production and maintenance, remotely monitor and control. So you ask yourself, with the existing current system, what else you're not able to capture? That's why you need a right tool to do it, for you to really understand what exactly happening. And then of course, you know from the logistic itself, you know about how much material still available or not available. You know about the current status of your warehouse, and then you know about what happening in your operation. For the manufacturing, you know the raw material. This 1 ton of the raw material coming into your factory. You have recorded this in your ERP. But after that, this raw material will come into every process in your shop floor. So how you capture it? Can you capture it or not? Okay, can you capture this raw material? Where did this go? Where this raw material is going? Okay, from point to point, every section or whatever you name it, point A to Z until the end. So you can get the one piece of the finished good. Okay, of course, manufacturing is not like the retail. Okay, this one in, this one out. For manufacturing, raw material come in, it become something else. Okay, it become a different component. We'll integrate all together. beyond something. It's called manufacturing. Unless you draw something a bit different, right? So this one for this slide is about the manufacturing transformation overview. We are referring to the manufacturing topology. The low end is a device level. Of course, below the device level actually is your machinery, is your equipment. So from there, device level actually capture your machine condition, okay, the sensor embedded or already integrate with your machinery, right? Pull the data from the machinery, like the speed, the RPM, the temperature, and etc. Right? The power consumption, etc. Device level. Normally, we're talking about automation control, safety. But to transform, this one become intelligent equipment with the reduced failures and downtime. This is one of the example. It become intelligent. It can base on data to understand, hey, this machine got something wrong with it. Of course, this one you can do setting, right? You set the threshold. But after set the threshold, you know, oh, this machine give you alert. Hey, something may happen. But what is happening? You know it or not? That's why you need another level to not only analyze, but doing the reasoning behind the scene to give you the feedback. Hey, this machine vibrate so hard, more than the threshold, and then why? And then the system give you the reason why. This is another level. So for control level, you can see with the assembly line, manufacturing cell and work center, etc. Control level, traditionally human machine interface, SCADA, alarm, events, historian. This one is very common. Some is a mix with the IT. Of course, here the transformation is that it become optimized, able to optimize the production and reduce the process cost. Same as well. Based on the data that capture, it's able to fit, to optimize, self-optimizing or semi-optimization of the machinery or process itself, as well to reduce the process cost. The next level is the MES. MES, we talk about the run schedules, products, bill of materials, routing, quality, performance. To transform, it will go into the cross-plant performance, coordination, and flexibility. It's different level. The next level is the ERP level. They're looking at, I think you are looking at finance, SR, HR, SCM, SRM, CIM. Right? So to transform, it's more transform into a responsive and dynamic cross-industry value network. So based on the data that you capture, that people enter or semi-auto, automatic or manually input, right? You get something for the system to do something. Get more intelligent way to show something for you. So for you to make a better decision making. Actually, on top of it, actually, it's a business insight. From there, you know about your strength and weaknesses, about in and out of your operation. This is the ideal way for most of the company. In this slide, I show you some of the KPI that related to the company to need to think about how to transform. This is the standard by ISO 22400. Right? In the company, right, we're looking into the work efficiency, allocation ratio, throughput rate, allocation of efficiency until the 32 is mean time to failure, mean time to repair, predictive maintenance ratio. The different KPI that you can look into it. This one by the ISO is a standard. Okay, not to be to say something that is a bit different. So increase in data values. Normally, when we capture the data, capture a thing actually to increase the value. We look at the value. So comparing the production data between factories, right? Using common indicator lead to the innovation of all factories. So innovation is one of the very important factors for the company to transform. As you know, technology is a technology. Software, hardware, just a software, hardware, nothing else. But you need the innovation from human beings like you and I to do something to make use of the available technology, either hardware or software, to innovate it into our operation so that to improve our operation processes, efficiency, and etc. So you can see on the left-hand side, data obtained from the factory actually through the sensors, the machine log, the PLC, the MES, and etc. different factory, right? Actually, this one you can create the event information, you can up to the time series, you support technical, and then at the end, actually the predictive information, what you want. So from the memory side, it's able to obtain information useful for improvement production side, right? You cater a lot of information for you to improve, for you to do the firefighting, and then at the end, it's able to obtain the information useful for the decision making, same as the previous slide. At the end, actually, for you to understand very well about your operation, same as us. We need to do a body checkup for us to understand our body capability, any strength or weaknesses of body, then we do something to ensure our healthy body, right? Same. So the challenge in adopting the digital transformation, there are a few challenges. The first one, innovation. Innovation, you need, as I mentioned, right, you need innovation in the adoption of the technology and method or hardware or software in the process to further improve the process, and then outdated KPIs as well. You need to think about what kind of new KPI. Therefore yourself, always update the KPI for your company to move forward. And silo digital transformation initiative, silence. It means this one, well, no matter what kind of the DX goal, right, there to be a teamwork, not just a silo, because the digital culture is for all, for the entire company, from the top until the lowest one. Okay, everyone need to understand DX is what. Need to adopt the DX culture, and then you need a very good technical planning to move forward. You need to have a digital roadmap, strategy, and roadmap for your company to do the to go for the transformation approach. Not only you transform in the way of the technology side, but you also need to in line with your business as well. Okay, both need to be balanced. Same as people asking, hey, I need to invest more in IT or invest more to OT, operation technology, okay, or others. This one is people to question, hey, how to start? Is a big question. As well as the nowadays, because of a lot of approach is about the adopt the technology. Technology itself, not the low-end technology, but of course now the technology they try to make it very easy to adopt. Okay, very low entry level. Even though it's a low entry level, you still need a talent, expertise to really understand the technology by itself. Just like IoT, you heard about Internet of Things. Internet of Things look like very simple, but don't forget, IoT not just a plug and play only, but you need to have at least certain minimum level of the programming skill to understand how to make use of IoT. Unless you're using the very market available, just plug and play. I think this one happening in the home appliances, smart home. Okay, you can buy from the internet or something, right? The switches you can put there, and then you just download the apps and then do the control already. But for the manufacturing, a bit different approach. Okay, why does digital transformation fail? It's because digitalization and already broken process are something wrong. So nothing as useless as doing efficiently that which should not be done at all. And digitizing a silo end process, this one I mentioned before, and chasing the shining technologies, it means that you chase the technology, but you need to look at your company readiness as well. Before you adopt the very shiny technology, like IoT robot, look like very nice technology, but is it necessary for you to invest or not? Right. Next one is building one more platform. Because we can, of course we can. The more you have, the more complicated you're going to get, right? And then in non-business process, that's why I say, people and culture aspect. This one you have to think very deeply as well. Not only just a technology transformation, but you need to look at your business process, people, and culture. So you can see only 8% of those who try win. Not easy. That's why you talk to Mr. Vincent Oh, our moderator. You know a lot as well. And then digital is a team sport. You need a teamwork with the same vision, mission to go for it. Okay, and then not only just for now, as well as to sustainability of the businesses. This is how it works. So to building a digital roadmap, you need to think about how you're going to move forward. Okay, step by step. You need to understand, like today, I think a few years back, I think everyone of you, your awareness is very good. You know what is an Industry 4.0. Maybe you also know a lot about digital transformation. Why? You can Google, you can do something, a website, you can watch the YouTube, etc. for you to understand. Okay, so the first level. Then you need to discover, what kind of area in my company can be transformed, can be adopt a so-called Industry 4.0 technology into it, and then come with an idea. Of course, before that, you come up with a task force. Okay, a group of task force that comprises of a different level of the people in your company to join the task force to understand, to give the ideas. That's why idea, right? Idea, where to transform, how we're going to transform, what kind of technology, software, hardware, and then design to make it happen. To design for that processes, maybe you can try as a proof of concept. Okay, to have feeling. Okay, as well as you can always join the program by Malaysia Productivity Corporation MPC program. Yeah, like My Rescue IoT, Virtual Advisory Clinic, P10, etc. to understand. And from there you understand more and more, and then your team have more feeling on it. And then you can create a good roadmap and strategize for the transformation phase by phase. So under the MPC, we have this kind of initiative to assist the company like you to go for transformation. First one, self-diagnosis tool. We have the so-called productivity 10-10 tool for you to understand your strengths and weaknesses based on people. Based on organizations, process and technology readiness in your company. Then advisor of the MPC, digital transformation advisor will come in to coach you how to go for transformation, and then to understand what is the gap for your company to go for transformation. And we have the tool as well to prioritize the area that you can go for, how you're going to go for your transformation, how and why and what to transform. And then we also can have a program like some of the program under the MPC with a proof of concept, or you can engage a system integrator or whoever for proof of concept for you to have a feel, and then try to implement it and see the how effective of this technology really can bring into something. That's why don't forget about business process, people, and organization culture as well during your transformation approach. So this is the website. You can log into this free up stress productivity tools, and you can click on the last one, the P10-10 assessment, for you to understand your company readiness towards the digital transformation. And this is how it looked like. And this is some of the core. I think I also explained it during the last webinar. Okay, process technology organizations. So if you want to have, if you have further questions about this tool, please drop an email. You can also inform our secretarial staff, Mr. Rahman, also I think also in the room, to or contact any of the MPC office in the different state, right? To further understand how it work, how your company going to understand the readiness of the company towards a digital transformation. So that's all for today's sharing. Thank you for your time to listen to my sharing for almost 1 hour. Okay, and hopefully you can get something to take away. Hopefully not so heavy for you to understand what's the meaning of the digital transformation, especially for the related to a manufacturing industry. Now I pass back the floor to Mr. Vincent Oh, the moderator for today. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Tan. Have a very insight and also sharing the knowledge about the digital transformations. So now is on a Q&A section. So I think we are open for floor to let out your question. Yeah. So we will try our best to answer your every single question come from the floor. Yeah. So you can post your question on the chat box. So Dr. Tan and me will try our best to answer your question.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, we're waiting for the question for the floor. So let me ask Dr. Tan one question for you. How the digitalization and contributive advance go hand in hand in the manufacturing sector?
Okay, repeat.
How the digitalization and the contributive advantage go hand in hand in the manufacturing sector?
Oh, do you mean the digitalization and the
Yes.
productivity?
Yeah.
Actually, just very simple. Traditionally, conventionally, right, company adopting the human, some of the machinery can be a semi-automatic, to do something, to do the for the manufacturing, to do something, right? But and then more and more, then after that, more and more people, company wide, try to make use of the human labor to do the work. Okay, during the adoption of labor-intensive way in the manufacturing process, right? You can see that the quality of the product is not consistent. It's because human is very moody, and then the skill set of the operator on people, right, is not there. It's causing a lot of reject part, inconsistency in the productivity and the low productivity as well. Nowadays, I think you feel that, hey, now Malaysia increase the lower wages, and then plus minus the others something, right? It become very expensive. Even nowadays, a worker for the manufacturing industry plus everything about 2,000 to 3,000 ringgit per month. So where is the there's no competitiveness in this way already. That's why Malaysia government encouraged some of the policy in the 2018 with the National Policy on Industry 4.0. Okay, and then this year with the My Digital and 4IR policy and I'm Here Child, even now you refer to the the latest one, next year budget. They're looking at the digitalization approach, digital transformation approach for industry to move forward, to move up of the value chain, right? Not just depend on the very low level of the worker. Of course, why I say that, maybe many of you maybe not so happy, but it's a factor. You look at Malaysia, don't look at the worldwide. Regionally, ASEAN, what is the Malaysia competitiveness among the ASEAN countries? So in terms of the cost of labor, we are not able to fight with Vietnam. So Vietnam is one of the very preferred location for the foreign direct investment, FDI. Not only the labor cost is low, and then the government have a very good policy to really attract the foreign investor to go there to invest. But for Malaysia government, they know already. If we want to be very competitive, we need to do something for industry. We need to transform towards a digitalization. This is the way. Then we can compete with other. We go for high value. If you look at the most profitable industry nowadays, more active industry in Malaysia, E&E industry. Why E&E industry? Because they have a high level adoption of the digital technology in the process, as well as others. Good business culture, good business push, talent, good talent development program, and a very good digital culture and other culture as well. Able to push this E&E industry to a very high level. That's why Malaysia, even though it's a small country, but Malaysia is one of the very important country for under the E&E industry worldwide. Yeah, that's my comment. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Tan, your answer. So now it's about 4:30. So okay, we would like to announce if we will have the so-called end for the webinar section. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Tan. Yeah, thank you all for all to attending the webinar on the MPC. Thank you. Stay safe. stay healthy. Thank you. Bye.
Thank Vincent. Thanks all. Thank
Thank you.
You all.
Yeah.
Stay safe. All the best.